Archive Lites are finally back, a long-awaited resurrection of a cult classic of freestyle shoes. But is it as good as it once was? Well, in today's video, we'll take a closer look at the shoe that changed the freestyle world forever. By accident. But after the discontinuation, many people thought it was gone forever. And after Puma dropped several shoes with the same sole that didn't make a big splash in the freestyle world, like the Netfit Lite, the Roma Lite, and the Netfit Lite Freestyle, PUMA Archive Lites are finally back in all of its glory. And is it the best freestyle shoe on the market? I would say yes, on par with the Ford Freestyle Explore 3. So even though you're a fully fledged freestyle pro or PANA pro with 10 years of experience, or you're just getting started with either PANA or freestyle, these shoes will definitely fit your needs. The old Archive Lite was created about 10 years ago as a lifestyle sneaker and was never really intended for any sports usage, but was quickly adopted by the breakdancers in Europe as a substitute to the clunkier Puma suedes, which is a classic within their community. It was later adopted by the football freestyle community and gained widespread fame straight away. So much so that in 2015 there was an Archive Lite shortage. It was nowhere to be found anywhere, but now it's back. It was so popular because of the thin, lightweight mesh upper that gave you that barefoot sensation while still giving you a cushioned touch, but also because of the flat and flexible sole that made it much better than any previous shoe to balance the ball on your sole. But what has actually changed from that version to this rejuvenation? Quite frankly, not a lot. Straight out the box, the Archive Lites are a treat. You slide into them like a pair of silk slippers on a Sunday morning. The mesh upper is smoother than whipped cream and the sole is extremely flexible. You could go out and have a great session straight away, no need to break them in at all. But they are a little bit slippery in the beginning, so I would suggest using them for a couple of days, walking around, get a bit of dirt on them, and they're good to go. The sole is very well cushioned for being so thin, and it's quite easy to manipulate by bending your toes inside the shoe. And these rubber inserts really help you out with a grip on smooth surfaces, but they do tend to get a little bit more slippery once you wear them out and smoothen them out. Being a quite wide-footed guy myself, I feel like the Archive Lites are quite forgiving. They're not necessarily a wide shoe, but they do fit a little bit snugger than the OG Archive Lite due to the added heel cap, but I would still suggest going with the same size as before. The thin mesh upper is still the same as the earliest version of the OG Archive Lite, and they still rock that super flexible EVA sole with rubber inserts for extra grip. This is really a super lightweight shoe that freestylers and PANA players worldwide have grown accustomed to throughout the years. I think the only modification that Puma did was to add a reinforced heel cap to add stability and lockdown in the heel, because in the old version of the Archive Lite there was absolutely no lockdown in the heel, which could result in rollover and twisted ankles. But to be fair, the OG Archive Lite weren't really made for freestyle or PANA, so you can't really blame them. At first I was a bit skeptical because I thought the added heel cap would be a deal breaker, but it actually didn't restrict me at all. On the contrary, the added stability made the shoe more comfortable as a whole, especially for lowers. The touch is probably the most important aspect of a freestyle shoe, and Puma really hit it out the park with this one. The toe box is big and open and gives you a decent pop despite the downspoon. The sole is huge and as flat as you can get, and the inside of the shoe actually has a little indent which almost creates a little pocket for two of my favorite tricks, the clipper and the wrap. Now, everything that I've said so far about the Puma Archive Lite 365 has been nothing but praise, but there are a few minor things that needs to be brought up. Possibly the biggest drawback of the Archive Lite 365 is the durability, but seriously, what could we expect with such a lightweight shoe with such thin mesh upper? But since it's just a slab of mesh on top of a rubber sole, the most vulnerable place is the lining between the mesh and the rubber. Also, one of the things that annoyed me quite a lot for the past 3 weeks that I've used these shoes are the laces. And that sounds pretty petty, but I have to say something bad about these shoes, right? Well, they actually improve the laces in one sense by making them shorter, but they feel quite slippery, and you can feel that when doing combos, but also because they untie quite easily. But the thing is that that problem is quite easily solvable by just getting new laces. And this might be another petty thing to complain about, but the colors are pretty dull, aren't they? You got black, we got baby blue, and we got dark green. I would love to see some more colors, just like in the old Archive Lites, and preferably an all-white version as well, but let's see what the future holds. So if you want to get yourself a pair of these absolute beauties, you can find them in black, baby blue, and dark green by clicking the link here. That will take you to unisportstore.com. And while you're at it, you should subscribe with the bell notifications on, and I will see you guys next time.